it just makes me cringe really, really hard, and I feel uncomfortable watching it with other people.
Clean, bleeding gums, Murphy. When the bleeding gums, Murphy testifying. A question no one else believes. He can sax you into paradise or bring you to your knees. It's a Maude kind of feeling, a touch of New Orleans slang. A song of pure shine, a deaf song that's sanctified. Bleeding gums, Murphy, take my blues away, make my pain the same as yours with every cast you cast. Bleeding gums, Murphy, oh, bleeding gums, Murphy. When the bleeding gums, Murphy signifying, and the beef Wellington is winding low. It's the late night side of morning. In the darkness of his soul, he can feel the 29th or 30th cast episode with sadness as he fills his horn with tears. Root again, he can cry like a fallen fleshbag when luncheon time is near. 1 o'clock, bleeding gums, Murphy, take my blues away, make my Christmas cast the same as yours with every change you play. Oh, lift me, won't you lift me, with every turn around, play it sweetly, take me down. Oh, bleeding gums, Murphy. Murphy, and also your cousin Flossie Murphy. Maude sequin basales! How!
To go on for three weeks
Indeed.
worth of episodes.
All right, whenever you're ready.
11 months to do season 12 of the podcast.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Beef, there you are. Merry Christmas. Come in.
All right, lads, brought you a little something. It's an NXS tour towel from 1987.
Wonderful. We'll hang it in the place of honour. This one's reserved for beef gift. Flimsy, how's Pemberton?
Lovely place, but I prefer Skemberton.
Not
me.
Not me. Ha! Ha ha ha. Hello, beef. I'm Pemberton. Ooh. All right, so we do the song. So why don't me and Nathan take turns with the name, and you two can take turns with the thing after the name. So maybe Beef, if you go first, I'll go. Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Famous record was sacked on the beach for all to find.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Blew all his money on Fabergé eggs, quite a lot.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Brother Dr. Hibbert was a secret, unmentioned plot. Never led what happened to his cousin.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Murphy tried to sue Krusty for stealing his jazz tune.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Learned his soulful jazz from Blind Willie Witherspoon, who played an umbrella.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
He'd tell Lisa Simpson in the clouds, no matter how far.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Once played the national anthem for 26 minutes.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Let's become a surgeon in a flashback. What went wrong?
Nice, only some of those weren't true.
On the once desolate rim of the WWP, sunlight bathes the reliquarians who anchor the beloved airship in the salt circle. The masks they wear are Lawrence M. Nightingale and Flimsy Rosewater.
Yes, I am Lawrence. Seafood avoider, de-blooded, sworn foe of kale, final heir to a vintage Yeti bloodline, postmaster and fearless Branflake engineer. holding annual passes to Asian Graceland and Euro Dollwood.
And I am Flimsy, ribbon devotee, relentless jellyfish hunter, and polyglot. I restored laughter to the mouse village after centuries under the Zen demons. My soul pirouettes for Margarita, even store-bought.
And if you see third sibling Dobby or Papa Ouija, let us know.
As activists in Lee's Town Hall, we catalogue Springfield's odd fishers.
We chase unfiltered truth only to learn the greatest revelation. We were always the urban spaceman, baby.
Rest in Pixels, Ham One, Jessica Owls, and the man who sleeps like a log. Pemberton and Beef, it's good to have you. Good to have you around. How are you looking
Welcome.
forward to this one, Beef?
I'm underprepared, to be honest. Yeah, I've not had time to do much prep. So other than the jazz and the egg fascination, I don't really know a lot about him. So I'm looking forward to learning and growing.
It's very little.
Progress through the clips.
Oh yeah, we'll have to read between the cracks, between the lines. And how are you?
I'm looking forward to your. There's some late season clips in there, Beef, and I'm looking forward to what they did with Bleeding Gums Murphy upon his later episodes and the response you have to that.
He died though, didn't he? Didn't they kill him off in the 90s? Or am I thinking?
No, they did, but they solved that one. He got better. And Pemberton, how are you? What's your knowledge of Bleeding Gums Murphy?
I am a following member of the Jazz Police.
Right.
Exactly.
Beware.
Fair enough. Did you say something about Jeff Police there?
Jazz Police.
Oh, you're a member of the Jazz Police. All right.
I'm a following member.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Honorary member, though.
It's biograph time. David Seven has sent a very David timeline going back from all of the Davids in time. And you have to do a robot voice.
It's a Christmas, David. Family fact file. It's a fucking Christmas. David fucking family. Fucking fact file.
When you read it. Bleeding Gums Murphy was a beloved Springfield jazz musician and mentor to Lisa Simpson. He appeared in Moaning Lisa when Lisa met him playing the saxophone alone on bridge at night. Murphy learned music from blind Willie Weatherspoon and became known for his soulful, emotional style.
He recorded only one album, Sax on the Beach, which later became a prized rarity. Despite his talent, he struggled financially and joked that he went bankrupt from buying Fabergé. Murphy made several local appearances, including a notorious 26-minute rendition of the Star Spangled Banner at a Springfield Isotopes game.
David 5.
Nothing and Hibbert are now voiced by the same actor. Nothing the same.
Clear as a bell.
A buzz, Chauncey. Crockett the audio correcting wasp here covering for Pemberton Fleshbag. As David 5, buzz. It's a fucking Christmas David fact file, buzz. Murphy and Hibbert are now voiced by the same actor. What Pemberton said was, Murphy was shown working as a pediatric surgeon, and Hibbert briefly mentioned their shared cousin, Rex.
He truly inspired Lisa with soulful saxophone. Murphy also once guest starred on The Cosby Show as the Huxtable children's grandfather and secretly held the world record for longest continuous sneeze.
Thank you, David 4. David 3. He died in hospital in Road, Springfield, shortly performing Jazzman with Lisa. Few people attended his funeral, but Lisa honoured him by getting his album played on Kajaz. His spirit later appeared to her in clouds for final duet.
Nut. Where is David 2?
He, I am Ham, he, oh. Oh, they have started.
Merry fucking Davids to all.
Oh, we got Beef on camera. Beautiful. Look at the size of that pop shield.
Oh yeah, all the gear. Yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
Very
Second-hand,
nice.
£20 pop shield.
£20 pop shield. I have a pair of socks stretched over a coat hanger.
Oh,
Nice.
how much was that?
Well, they were used. The coat hanger was used. The socks were clean.
Right.
You four, you three plus me. Why do
You
you?
me included.
Why do you like or not like Bleeding Gums Murphy? Let's go first with whatever Nightingale or Flimsy, whatever your name is.
Me.
Yeah.
I like him because he's a staple of old Simpsons. He is the blueprint for Maud Flanders, and I just think he's quite a cool character. He was probably the only cool character they had for the first 6 or 7 years prior to the introduction of Disgusty. Underutilized.
Very.
And then again, they tried to retcon that in the later seasons. They did not bring him back to life, but they did go down the Maude route of having him appear a couple of times in ghost or hologram, etc. form.
Yeah. Beef, what you mentioned briefly that you don't know a lot about him, but does he appeal to you at all, the Bleeding Gums?
He does, yeah. It feels like in the 90s you'd get more jazz in cartoons. You know what I mean? Maybe because we were closer then to the jazz age, whereas now watching cartoons with my kid, there's no jazz representation. So it feels like we've lost something. Maybe, and he was the last of the jazz.
The Last Jazzman.
Mm.
A great
Well,
subtitle for this cast.
I wonder, I don't think it was a reference to the Ralph Bashki, controversial Ralph Bashki film from 1975, the name of which I don't know if I'm even allowed to say, but which is a great movie and starts off with like 10 minutes of Scatman Carruthers scatting and singing. It is the classic Jazzman cartoon. I've never seen anything suggesting that Bleeding Gums is connected.
No, I think I think what happened is somebody really liked jazz who worked on The Simpsons early days.
Not enough to avoid that god-awful song at the end of the episode.
Indeed. However, in season 1, when they were bringing in, they had like a select amount of recurring characters in season 1. It was basically like Bleeding Gums, Princess Cashmere, Sideshow Bob, a couple of characters who appeared on a lot of merchandise or posters and stuff, but didn't really appear in the show a lot. So I just think they wanted to give Lisa something as a part of her personality and then bring in a character who would represent that part of her personality. It's a great name though when you think about it, Bleeding Gums.
Bleeding Gums Murphy is an absolutely stone cold classic character, and it says a lot about the show that they decided to just kill him immediately. I know it was like a one-off episode kind of thing, but come on.
Yeah, I think he only appeared twice with this guy's voice. And I don't know when this guy died.
2002 he died, so he could have done another few
he could have
seasons.
hung around. But I guess they realised they'd done everything they could with him in those 2 episodes.
Yeah, there's nothing left for this aging jazz musician. There's no stories left here. But Pemberton, does this jazz musician, are you a jazz fan? Does this jazz musician, strike a chord with you, as it were?
I don't know if you can see my membership card there. That is the, honorary Jazz Police official membership card.
Right.
And, with that comes responsibility. And I'm calling it out. It's not jazz.
Not jazz.
There's very little jazz there.
It is significantly.
Yeah. I've got no time for the fakey jazz stuff. And I think it should be banned. It just sounds like something that Bill Clinton would do to show off, or something that a session musician on a Tina Turner record might do, but it's not jazz.
This is jazz, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the real Takashi. And,
indeed.
Yeah.
He's not really... Most of his storylines and dialogue and involvement with Lisa are about the blues. No,
well, that's the whole thing. He's actually a bluesman and not a jazzman, even though he plays the saxophone, right?
Yes.
Oh, well. So we just like him. We've just stated why we like Bleeding Gums, but what ranking would you put him, Lords, as?
Some of us like him.
Some of us hate him. But let's say that's just because they're in the jazz police.
Yes, let's leave that up to the proper jazz authorities. It is C for Bleeding Gums Murphy, I believe. I toyed with the idea of putting him in B.
Right.
But he is simply not storyline focused enough to go to B. But he is quite well known. He is quite any of these early day Simpsons characters are well recognised easily by Simpsons nostalgia fans, I would imagine. I imagine he's an easy character to remember.
I think so.
And also, he's had a few... The appearances he's made have been somewhat substantial in terms of his appearance in them. So you can... Generally, the rule is to make it to B, you have to have sort of episodes about you. and he does, but they're not. They're more about Lisa.
Ablisa.
We will stick for C. She punched her in the face.
I think I agree, because I think an analog, as we've said, or we will say later in this episode, is Disco Stew. He's kind of a bit of a one-note character, but they've tried to add a little bit of nuance and backstory, but they've done more with Stew. And so I think Stew might just eke into the B, because he's a memorable character as a one-off, but did more. Bleeding Gum is memorable, but they haven't necessarily done much with him.
I believe I have Stu in C.
All right, that makes sense. But I'd say Stu's a little higher up on the ranking than BGM.
Possibly. They still have yet to do a full Stu episode, or one of those, where they, in this Bleeding Gums Murphy's style, where you find out some additional info in an episode about him, and then that episode is about that info, like they do with the likes of Chalmers, etc.
All right, let's throw some words and let's see if any of these stick. Death.
Yes.
It's a big one, isn't it?
Yes, he did die. He's one of the early cast choices in my head, simply because of his prominency to the character that our cousins discussed.
Indeed.
He's one of the early ones to go, and that is a defining character trait.
Rest in beef. Glasses.
Yes.
Sunglasses, right?
He does wear sunglasses. It is not established whether it is for medical purposes, though, whether he has
prescription sunglasses.
Yes, light sensitivity issues.
What are those sunglasses called that you can clip onto your regular glasses?
Oh, yes, clip gwags. I don't know what they're called.
CGs. School.
School is cool. Okay, he did judge the talent show. Well, for some reason, presumably because he's a low-level town celebrity.
Yeah. Is he the only musician? Is he the only musician in town?
He is seemingly the only musician in town, yes. I can't, off the top of my head, think of another recurring, actual current musician who doesn't just play an instrument or sings occasionally, who's actually professionally doing it.
Nope, that's right.
Lurlina to push.
Do you think he's cool?
Regular. Yes, I think he is. He is designed and voiced and acts in a way that he is supposed to be seen as incredibly cool. But inside, he is a deeply sad man. So
I'm torn on whether or not he's supposed to look cool. I heard a suggestion that, I know we talked about him being based on Cannonball Adderley, but I think
Cannonball
Adderley. The idea is that he was based on Cannonball Adderley because Cannonball Adderley at one point essentially quit being a jazz musician so that he could just go and play on a bridge, which is the part why Bleeding Gums Murphy is on a bridge, I believe.
Indeed.
However, his look is supposedly, and I can't find this anywhere other than this one article from Nita Rama about real life inspirations, which some of the others they've got, right. I've seen other places. Her suggestion that physically he's based on quite a modern act, not an early jazz man. Leroy Moore, who was a founding member of the Dave Matthews Band, which means he's very, very much not cool.
Indeed, I think this is just a man who happens to be wearing sunglasses and playing a saxophone.
Well, he's got dreads as well, which Bleeding Gums doesn't. He's more from an old school thing, but he does definitely have a little bit of a Bleeding Gums kind of body size and stuff, which Cannonball Adderley very much did not.
No, I think he's more of a culmination of different jazzmen that they wanted to, like a Frankenstein's jazzman.
Oh yeah, mobbers.
No, I don't think he's a crowd character really. He's never in a crowd, mostly due to death following season 6.
But he's very much an individual, isn't he?
He is. He's not really a crowd guy.
Love connection.
0, except for the mother of his child, who we don't know.
We don't know, do we? And we cannot leap to the conclusion that he did not remain loyal and with this woman. We just never found out anything about her. Could be very much that he had a long and beautiful relationship as a husband and father.
Indeed, had they not killed him, they might have gone down that route of that was his story, that he's not actually got a bluesy, sad life at all. He's a very, very normal man, but he has to put on a blues act to make a living. but his life at home is just full of love and joy.
Well, he could have both, couldn't he? He could be a bluesman who really feels the blues, but he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily live it. And as a mobber, yeah, very much as an individual. The jazz man is an individual. He's a lone wolf in many ways. Tapped out in Mongo.
Yes to both. Again, easy pickings for somebody who is voiced by someone who is not a regular voice person. They can just do what they want with them.
Celebrity voice.
Yes, if you count the man called Ron Taylor as a celebrity.
I always thought it was James Earl Jones.
It is not.
No?
Why did I think that?
He plays Maggie.
He does play Maggie, doesn't he? But doesn't he do a cloud thing where they go back to, Luke, I am your father, and it's Simba in the clouds?
Yeah. I don't know why. I never understood that reference, to be honest. That's in this Bleeding Gums Murphy thing, where he appears at the end with the clouds with like 3 other presumably deceased characters.
But they're all voiced by James Earl Jones, the other two. So that's like the joke that everyone thinks it's James Earl Jones' character.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I never really understood that.
No. Anyway, let's keep moving on.
Who's Ron Taylor, quickly? Sorry, just...
That's a fantastic question.
He was a singer. He was an actor and a singer, and I don't know what else he did, but he played Bleeding Gums in a couple.
He was in Twin Peaks.
I
only know him as
Matlock.
Bleeding Gums Murphy.
And I guess maybe the fact, because apparently he was known in later life as someone who did the national anthem quite often, and so there's the joke that Bleeding Gums used to do that as well.
Yes, but in that national anthem clip, it's not this guy, it's somebody else.
Could be a reference though.
Could.
He played the Cowardly Lion in The Wiz.
He seems to just be a prominent voice actor, not a prominent theatrical and voice actor.
Well, he was a musical called It Ain't Nothing But the Blues, which charted the history of the blues. And he also played Rufus Payne in Lost Highway. So he obviously Lynch liked him. Yeah. So there you go. But sadly, Beef, he didn't stick around very long. He died, and at least 2 or 3 of the people who played. And this is actually the thing. It's like I think. And Zaz, maybe you know otherwise, but I think Bleeding Gums has to be up there for the most different voices, because Darryl Coley and then Shearer did one.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And then now Kevin Michael Richardson, who also plays Hibbert now.
Yeah, and he does a significantly, as you will all hear in this video at some point, he does a significantly better job at impersonating. I think the Bleeding Gums Murphy replacement voice is pretty much spot on in comparison to quite a few of the other ones, including Hibbert, who is by far the worst one. But
at times it did sound like Bleeding Gums early was doing a bit of a Cosby as well, which is strange.
Yes, it wasn't as strange then. He was, I believe, fairly revered at this time.
It's true, and he did do the cut where he's on this Cosby show, which I don't believe you show in these clips.
I do. It's the very, very last thing that we see.
All right. Married to Selma, multiple jobs, Springfield celebrity.
Not married to Selma, no multiple jobs, and yes to Springfield celebrity. In line with the Cashmeres of Springfield. I remember it's not in this at all, but when they do a celebrity like charity single and Bart falls in that well.
Oh yeah.
The early days. That was like season 3, so they barely had any characters. So the celebrities that they have are like Bleeding Gums Murphy and Princess Cashmere and Krusty and Sideshow Mel, etc. So yes, he does count.
He does count. Poverty, moving in with the Simpsons.
Poverty, yes, to an extent, in that he caused his own poverty, as we see him lying in the gutters throwing Fabergé eggs at the wall. Never moved in with the Simpsons. They killed him off before they did that episode. But I would be stunned if that did not happen in a bongo.
I would be stunned if anything did not happen in a bongo, to be honest.
Very true.
Moving in with Simpsons, we've done incompetent / surnameless.
No and no, he seems fairly put together. He's not a down and out sort of Gil, Hans Moleman character. And his surname is Murphy. I knew you were going to say it that way. His surname is in fact Murphy. And I did add a new category, which was parents, which he fits into. He is a parent.
I would push back slightly against the incompetent, not in the sense that he obviously as a jazz player he seems technical, but as a person who's got his shit together, he doesn't seem to have it together very much.
No, that is true, but he's not like cosmically unlucky in a Hans Mole Man,
No.
Kirk Van Houten kind of way. He's never played as the down and out fella.
Right. Well, that covers all that stuff. All right, let's do this sketch then. All right.
Ham 2's just finishing. This one's all for you, so beat it into the ground. Ham 2's just finishing the pub lunch. He's very proud of the parsnips this year.
Good man, Ham 2.
Where is Ham 2?
Oh, he was here a second ago. He's probably popped into the ether. He does that.
Classic Ham 2.
Cut to Ham wandering the house. Assistant Spider, may I rest here to have my baby?
Sorry, Ham was sort of full. I have Darren and Lawton and the RF males around.
Oh, you found them. Good. Oh, it's coming. Mice friends, may I rest here to have my baby? Al, can you do the mice voice?
Yeah. Sorry, Ham. We've just got a big delivery of cheese, and it's not convenient.
Okay, enjoy the cheese. Ooh. The storage cupboard where Dobby was living. Ooh, I will have my baby in here. Stu, you can be Elka Gagner, the shitting man, if you don't mind.
Am I a mouse? Sorry.
He's a Spanish man who takes a dump at the side of the nativity.
Oh, hello, Ham. Hello, Ham. Don't mind me.
Insert pooping noises. Oh, thank you, Elkag. Oh, baby is coming.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Shall we get some content? I'm going to play the first clip and then we can all have a good old chat about it. It's a thick gangster who is later revealed as Bleeding Gums, a young Bleeding Gums, and a thinner one who is revealed as, I guess, Witherspoon's Nantucket. And he has a case, and you think, oh, it's a gun. But no, it's a saxophone. But it's not. It's an umbrella. I've been playing jazz for 30 years, and I can't make a go of it. Ha, ha, ha. It's his fault for not noticing, isn't it? Pemberton, what do you make of that clip?
Well, that's just more evidence that's condemning Bleeding Gums Murphy as being a bit of a twat.
Fair enough.
That's just bullying. That not only does he play fakey jazz and claim to be a jazz man, but it takes a piss out of the blind for years.
It is quite a negative look if you take it in that way. Yes, it is. It's not a good look for him, is it?
Not at all. But also the question is, if he's only just being given the umbrella with which to learn jazz, how is Bleeding Gums? What's he been doing for the last 30 years, hanging around telling this supposed jazz musician, giving him advice? Surely it's on Wetherspoons for taking that advice.
Yeah. Also, the lack of noise would have been a clue. I imagine he was just raised in this jazz environment, a blues environment, if you will.
I'm sure inevitably the Bleeding Gums Murphy preteen story is season 39.
Oh yeah, it's a Disney Plus forfer.
Indeed. Zaz, what you got to say?
I threw that in so we could see him at his youngest and how he got his start. It's not particularly a powerhouse of a clip. The only funny bit is when the man says that's not funny. But I thought it was important to see him at his start.
Beef, do you concur?
A solid clip. I don't think they disgraced themselves there. That's there was things to enjoy. Yeah, certainly. A 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Clip 2, season 33, episode 17, The Sound of Bleeding Gums. We see Bleeding Gums, a comedically spivvy man falling all over the place, banging his cymbals for ages in an attempt to maybe catch up some of that Sideshow Bob with the rakes magic, but it didn't go on for long enough. And then he just goes and bangs his cymbals next to the head of his child, who does not respond, and then he cries. Cut to hospital, where it says we finally fired Dr. Nick.
And probably the reason why the child didn't respond is because he's already deafened him.
It could be that he was deafened by Bleeding Gums Murphy. I didn't think of it like that.
Like with Spider-Man.
Yes, that's how Spider-Man ended up deaf.
I've just got my Jazz Police head on, and
I think he cries though, and then he takes the child to the hospital. But to be honest, it's not the best way to test whether someone's deaf, is it?
That was my main.
I think he's already deafened him, like I said. And it's like the Emotional Hooligan song by the Smiths. Never, never do it again, not until the next time. That's why he was crying. It was just
right.
Yeah, feeling sorry for himself, not the child that is deafened.
That's right.
It might be good for him in the long run that he is deafened, given that sax playing.
You're on fire tonight. I think we should
I
have you
agree.
on some more jazz-related episodes. Beef, what did you make of that? I thought that Spivvy guy had a bit of a look of Beef.
Really? Oh, I take that as a compliment. Yeah, without much context for that clip, it was a side of Murphy that you don't see that often. He looked rattled and perturbed. He's normally quite laid back and, together, confident. So I don't know why did he have a child in his care? Do you know the reason behind that?
Probably
So I
kidnapped
believe,
him.
he probably kidnapped him. He just kidnaps children and makes them deaf.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, this is a
Sponsored by the Death School.
Yes, this is a later episode where you discover some more stuff about him. So he had a son who was deaf, essentially.
right.
The irony being he is a musician.
Is
But
this Bleeding Gums? Is this his flat then? Is this his home that we're
yeah, I
seeing?
believe so. And it's never established whether this home is in Springfield. I do think this is the only time ever you see him without sunglasses on in this particular clip, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You see his eyes, right?
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the design of him because especially when they bring him back in these later seasons, there's certain characters that if they bring back, they don't really design them like this anymore. When they bring in new people, they're a lot more generic and, just they don't want anybody to stand out in the crowd, whereas the early characters they designed all had some sort of a bit of something extra to them.
Do you ever see this Spivvy guy again?
No, I think he's just a band member who is very, very clumsy.
Is that the joke? His name's probably Clumsy Joe or something, but they could have made that joke much funnier if it had gone on for another 15 to 20 minutes.
Indeed, yes, that would have definitely made it a lot funnier. I agree that it's a terrible way to discover if your child is deaf, though.
Well, later on they suggest another means, don't they? So it's interesting that he's taken the second least bad option in this clip. But let's watch the.
Well, I'm just wondering about why would you give a child a saxophone to sleep with? Isn't that dangerous? Is this just like more evidence of child abuse?
No, I think it was probably a toy saxophone, and back in the day, it was different times.
Yeah, I can imagine do that.
Oh, I didn't see the gun the first time around, so I just thought it was a very, very weak joke. Now it's just it's still quite a very weak joke. Yeah. Beef, what do you think about this revelation that Hibbert shoots past a child's ears to test their hearing?
Not much to work with that clip. It was slender, wasn't it? Why not?
Why not? We're learning very little about Bleeding Gums here, other than he has a child who's deaf, and does that come back in any of these clips? Like, is it a plot point?
No, but it is a plot point of the episode in which it is from, in which Lisa meets said deaf son, and that is how she finds out these stories. But I don't really remember it, and I don't think they added anything new to it other than why wasn't he a great guy, which Pemberton has pointed out several times may not in fact be true.
We've got Monk Murphy here.
Yes, he has a son and a nephew that are introduced in later seasons, but only for like a scene or an episode. The only thing I took away from it is Hibbert's voice is really, really bad, and at least he has some concern for the child.
Well, going back to the firing the gun to sort of like test the hearing, they have different standards of healthcare in America, don't they? And let's face it,
go tell it on the mountain.
I'd recommend injecting yourself with
over the hills and everywhere.
If you had...
Go tell it on the mountain.
So going by that, sounds about right.
Tried and tested, it worked just fine.
Indeed.
Never give me any harm.
I wasn't sure whether he was doing a young Hibbert or a bad Hibbert.
That is just how Hibbert sounds now, which is
dear me.
Hibbert and Lou. For some reason, all the other characters they seem to have done a pretty good, especially Millhouse. I've gone on about the new Millhouse a couple of times now. But they just basically hired someone and said, "Will you be Dr. Hibbert now?" They didn't actually ask him to do an impression of Dr. Hibbert as a character. They just decided he plays Hibbert and Bleeding Gums in this scene, and he absolutely nails the Bleeding Gums voice.
He's a fantastic voice actor, which is why it's so strange that he decided not to do Hibbert as Hibbert. It's just not a very good change either, right? So it's not like they took a hip hop and said, well, I'll give him another voice that's just as funny as distinctive. It says, no, I'll just do a less comedic, which could also be a less stereotypical Hibbert voice.
Would you say there's a parallel in Plan 9 from Outer Space when they replaced Bela Lugosi's character when Bella dies with what was his name? Edward's dentist.
I think it's exactly the same, right? Actually, I went watching Edward Scissorhands at the pictures this morning, which was fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was on the pictures. All right, let's move on. Clip 3. Let's see if we can give Beef a little bit more to work with here. So the reason why I started thinking about that Bashki film is because that image of bleeding gums there is very, very reminiscent of the characterizations of a Bashki. Beef, you're Ralph Bashki. You know about his stuff, right?
Fritz the Cat, is that him?
Yeah, but this is
Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm familiar with. So he's oeuvre, yeah.
It's actually a very funny and very dark kind of movie about African American kind of culture in the mid 70s. Right. But it's certainly not, as you would say, politically correct. No. But the characterization's very, very cool and very good. And I just really wondered whether they were tipping their hat to this. But yeah, what do you think about his debut there on the bridge, telling Lisa that basically the blues is about making people feel sad and stealing their money?
Well, yeah, as the point that Nathan made earlier about they sing jazz man, but he's all about the blues, isn't he? It's like they've conflated the two. Why didn't they just sing blues man?
Yeah, well, as we pointed out off screen before you arrived, it's actually a cover of a Carole King song.
Right.
It's garbage. It's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. And there's a whole bunch of songs that are about the blues that they could have had him doing.
It's
very unusual.
I like the flip-flops as well. I didn't realise he wore flip-flops. That was an interesting point. Is that a reference to something?
It's hard to say, but it's unusual, isn't it, for a blues man wearing sandals? I mean, maybe that's a jazz stereotype that, like, hey daddy, hey Hepcats daddy-o.
It just gives me more reason to dislike him, really, because I hate flip-flops. And he was very unsympathetic to Lisa, going, "Oh, you've not got any problems." Like picking on kids. What a knob.
He's
very truthful.
He's supportive in his actions. It's just his words don't often come out.
And he wears flip-flops.
He does wear flip-flops.
I'd say he's quite a cutting character. He's not the most uplifting character, which is a fun hero to introduce. Lisa's hero is essentially someone who is telling her that everything is terrible, and that
she's embodying the blues.
She doesn't even know what's going to come. Is he what?
He's embodying the blues, isn't he? He's a walking blues man, jazz man.
Indeed, and the whole they seem to like bridges in the early seasons, especially season 1. There's a lot of bridge stuff, but yeah, his outfit, his flip flops. His design in reference to that movie that we will not be referring to.
I don't know if it's true.
And the scene itself, like the moon and stuff, it does feel like he is referencing someone specific. Either that or they've just done a great job of designing a new character.
Great
job.
But
he does everything about him says that he is based on somebody.
It's slim pickings basically as of now, other than he's a jazz man who's a bit surly and he has a deaf son. That's we've not picked up too many more character traits. I hope he doesn't die soon.
All you get in season 1, his first 2 appearances, like season 1 and season 6, all you get is he is just a mystical jazzman, bluesman figure who appears, when Lisa is feeling down, essentially. He doesn't seem to live in town very often. He's occasionally seen as a celebrity, but he's not he just comes in and you don't know anything about him, you don't know his story or anything, and then obviously any time a show has been on 37 years, you're eventually going to be like, well, what if Bleeding Gums Murphy did have a deaf son and we do an episode about that?
Why not? Got to fill some hours. But he, so it was one of the things that he basically just popped up whenever Lisa was in trouble.
Not really. It literally happens this first time that she meets him, and then it happens once more.
He wasn't there for her when Ralph Wiggum was stalking her.
Exactly. Deafened.
That's right. Clip 4, season 6, episode 22, round Springfield. So this was like, I guess a few years into it, and this is where was it? So his first appearance was like in season 1, and then they didn't use him until season 6 when they killed him, basically.
Yes and no. They didn't use this guy's voice, but they did have him, like, again, he was the judge on the talent show that we looked at in the Maude for some reason. I can't remember, obviously, because the reason being that Maude Flanders was in the crowd.
That's right.
He was a judge there, and then there was the national anthem thing. But outside of that, yeah, they phased him out in the way that they sort of did those early characters once they started, creating the Van Houtens and the Wiggums and, all the families that you see all the time. They phased out the season 1s.
Ah, yeah. So far, we've had 0 laughs. There's been nothing even remotely funny in any of these clips. And I remember that was one of Beef's criticisms of almost every character that he's seen, is that the clips don't tell you much and they're not amusing. So I'm glad we were able to continue that. Clip 4.
It's a Christmas tradition.
Sir, don't you think you've had enough?
I tell you when I've had enough.
So, yeah, Beef, what do you make of that? A little bit more to it. Got a little bit more though. He's spending $1,500 a day on some Fabergé eggs, and that scene of him lying down in the alleyway just throwing eggs at the wall is priceless.
It's a great clip, yeah. For all my criticism, Fabergé eggs are inherently funny. I was thinking back to when I first became aware of Fabergé eggs. It was 1983. It was Octopussy, if you remember. There's a bug hidden in an egg.
Right.
Roger Moore dressed as a clown.
Oh.
I mean, if you showed that to a kid today, would they know what Fabergé eggs are? It feels like they've fallen from the consciousness a bit.
No chance.
Again, yeah. But yeah, just the thought of it, just looking at the egg and then slamming it against the wall, and that's it. It's a great clip. Yeah, I'll give him that one. Yeah,
I'll give him it, but it's one of those things of like, obviously it's a tongue-in-cheek reference to the jazz drugs, but it's amusing that he didn't like put the eggs in some sort of little display case, but he actually just smashed them against the wall.
I like to think that the addiction is the smashing of the eggs more than the purchasing of the eggs. But I two things about this. I do agree. It would probably be Labubu's now if it was today. I don't think Fabergé eggs made it. I think they were just a sign of 90s luxury, possibly.
70s, 80s luxury, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm thinking all this smashing Fabergé egg thing. It's just more evidence of what a prick he is. Like, what if Santa's little helper was there? He could cut his paws.
He also at this point does have some
completely irresponsible behaviour, showing no regard for anybody else, and it's just all about him.
Yeah, considering he does at this point now, within the retroactive canon, have a deaf son that will probably have a lot of medical bills that he is blowing this money. But when he says, "I'll tell you when I've had enough," I'd say that's his funniest line delivery.
It's pretty good. What do we know about Mrs. Bleeding Gums Murphy? Is she on the scene?
Absolutely nothing. You never even in the Deaf Son episode, it is not established who she is or what she is.
There might be very good reason for that.
But we do know that he has a cousin called Flossie Murphy. No, she's from Bongo. She's Bongo. Yeah.
That's yeah.
So Flossie Murphy is a saxophonist and cousin to Bleeding Gums Murphy. She's the only one in her family with proper oral hygiene. Lisa met her outside Luigi's when they started to jam together, and Lisa found out they used the music from the gig for commercials. Flossie told Lisa at It Was Therefore she gave it away and she was disappointed that she took the gig. Exactly.
So Lisa played a saxophone outside an Italian restaurant, and that was surreptitiously recorded and used in an advert.
That's exactly what this
is. That what this?
Have you spent much time in Bongo Land? Not
enough. No, we dipped in it with Leopold. Yeah, that was great. Some of that stuff.
They really. There's nothing. It is just a let's see what's stuck to this wall kind of situation.
Yeah. It's gold. We're starting our exploration a little more of the bongos, and everyone is both a dream and a nightmare.
Yes, that is an ideal way to say it.
But $1,500 flashback. There's Reddit suggestions that might be a drug habit, but I don't think so. Surely not. Clip 5.
Indeed.
again, round Springfield. This is where they kill him off. So this was before Ned's wife died, right?
Correct. He was very much the blueprint for the future deaths. In that
Yeah.
they essentially the format they followed was kind of unspecified death for the most part, with the exception of Ned's wife. But like that's kind of what they did with Edna and Troy, etc. When they just didn't express, like they never really said what happened to them. They just died. Like
Right.
I'd cut some stuff out, obviously, but before this, he was in hospital, and Lisa saw him because she was Bart was there also, and that's how she reunited with him. He was in hospital, and then when she went back to visit him a second time, he was dead. But that she was just told he'd passed away.
Right.
And then the funeral scene with a little bit of comedy, but also a little bit of sadness, continued the blueprint. And obviously, the next one is grimy, and then Ned's wife, what's her face?
Yeah, exactly. That idea of slowly panning across the graveyard, is that just a trope, or is that from a specific thing? Do we know?
Night of the Living Dead.
Is it Night of the Living Dead?
Could be. I think it's just they always do it as a way to remind you that they've killed a few people off.
Ah, yeah. Beef, what did you make of that sad clip?
I was slightly confused. Well, when we saw the grave from a distance, it looked like there was a crowd of people stood around the grave, and then when we got the close up, it was just Lisa. So what's happened there? Sorry.
Sorry. That was some shenanigans by me. I inserted the small clip of when it starts Maude Flanders' funeral just to show the parallels. So that was.
So only Lisa attended the funeral. So where was like Flossie Bunny and all that, and his son and
Jeff's son?
Yeah,
The
where
good
was
question.
jazz community.
Exactly. The jazz
He seemed to
community,
be-
very much. Good question.
Maybe Alistair's got Pemberton's got more of a point than we thought, because he does seem to be a very unloved man.
Indeed,
It seems to
I know.
just
I
be
was-
this
I was
anonymous
thinking-
8-year-old girl thinks he's great. Other than that, everybody else seems to dislike him.
Bang on. And probably with good reason.
Indeed. Well, again, he went to his grave with nobody knowing, nobody giving a shit, and so she's decided. And even the priest comedically got his name wrong, and so then the girl, whatever her name is, decides that she's going to take his record and force us to have to listen to that shit. Is that that's not Jazzman, is it?
No, it's one of Bleeding Gum Murphy's songs from Sax on the Beach.
Ah, do we ever hear it? Do we? Because we do hear our blues one.
Yeah, it plays over a scene.
Oh yeah.
I believe I've used it in the bonus stuff, actually. It's just a instrumental saxophone piece.
It's what he would have wanted. Clip 6. The Sound of Bleeding Gums, season 33, episode 17. This is the flashback.
Lisa.
Whatever.
That's it. Add dangerous driving to the charge list now.
So we see him now magically coming out of some book on the same bridge. Is it this? It's like years later that Lisa goes back and she's asking for help from the bluesman.
I think so. Again, I'm a bit shaky with these later episodes that I've only seen once, but I think so. Yes, essentially, she's at this point in this episode, she has knowledge of his deaf son and has possibly interacted with him, but is also seeing him in her mind in a very easy TV tropey ghost way. Like he's not really there. He is just, her representation of what she remembers.
Yes.
And then to not expand the clip with like more information about him, but to just do a 30 to 40 second parody where he's pretending to be Morgan Freeman.
Well, it's the Family Guy cutaway without the joke, really, isn't it? He bumps into, and then he reverses it. The Driving Miss Daisy with the green book thing with Mashallah Ali.
Did you notice that, along with the dangerous driving, smashed into this car, T-boned it, and he was just concerned about himself. He didn't ask about how the people were in the other car. It was just I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to form this relationship. No, pay attention to the road, you dickhead.
Good Lord. Good Lord, you've really got it in for this cat, haven't you? Beef, what did you make of that delightful reference?
As you said, the veering dangerously into Family Guy territory there, where it's just like a reference instead of a joke, and it's just I will say though, Bleeding Gums, whoever the guy doing the voice of Bleeding Gums doing the voice of Morgan Freeman was a small delight. I thought that was quite well done. So, to give him some credit.
Give him some credit. Well,
no.
he's a great voice actor. Again, this is Kevin Michael Richardson, and we was like, yeah, that's
Kevin
why.
Michael-
Yeah,
I'll give him that. Yeah, but no, just cutaway references. That's not The Simpsons. No, what are we doing?
I agree that I feel like this specific cutaway was to display Kevin Michael Richardson's Freeman impression more than having anything to do with Bleeding Gums Murphy.
yeah.
It's a little unfair to compare it to Family Guy, though, because I think this was before Family Guy.
That is true, except for this clip, which came out, I believe, in like 2021.
Oh,
yeah. This was a very a flashback. Yeah. So, but anyway, we didn't really get much from that other than Bleeding Gums Murphy's there for Lisa, and she's having a hard time, and we don't really know what she's having a hard time about, do we?
There's probably some shite. She's just a question no one asked, isn't she?
Exactly.
I think it is related to the Bleeding Gums Murphy deaf son situation, but I have when you said you did no prior research, Beef, I put these clips together and then I did absolutely no more research. So we're in the same boat.
We're all in the same Bleeding Gums boat. But clip 7, Lisa Gets the Blues, season 29. So what we're taking, so he died in season 6, and then we didn't really see him much till season, for 20 years or something.
Yeah, way longer than the other death situations. They brought Grimy back. They obviously brought Marge Flanders back. But they left, and it's probably because he had a specific person's voice in a similar way to Doris, actually. When they retired them because the voice actress or actor died, and then eventually they were like, well, they weren't that big of a character that it matters too much if we get somebody else in to do the voice.
Yeah, fair enough.
Doris, they just kind of brought back and said, they didn't say anything. She just didn't speak for like a decade, but they'd already killed this guy off.
Aye. Clip 7, season 29, episode 17, that Lisa Gets the Blues. My uncle said that you were the best promising musician he ever met, and then says that his uncle was passive aggressive. So once again, Gums does not get off particularly nicely in this one. He's the only clip where he comes off being positive is the one where he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Beef. Do you
sorry, you made reference to the poor oral hygiene as well, and what kind of example is that to set a deaf son?
Gingivitis is all you got left, isn't it? If you're
deafens him, yeah.
If you're a jazz musician.
He holds up the mantle of the character he's supposed to be quite well. Like he is, as much as he's revered and quite cool on a surface level, when you do even the smallest amount of digging like we have, it turns out he's just a selfish sort of freeloader who thinks he's got it worse than everybody else.
He'll make fun of the blind and test the deaf to their very limit.
And has no sympathy for the car crash victims.
Indeed. Beef, what did you make of this yet more damning evidence that Bleeding Gums is not the hero we once thought?
No, just another relative who failed to attend his funeral, isn't it? That was his nephew, so that would be the son of Bunny. Am I right in thinking?
Exactly, that's exactly who.
Where was he? You know what I mean? They all come out of the woodwork. Yeah. Again, not much to go off with that clip, is there? Light in humour and
content.
Yeah, just a bit of flim flam, really. Yeah, no, not much. Not much going on.
It's I agree. The clips. It was hard to. I sort of decided Bleeding Gums Murphy as the character because he's been on my mind for a while because he fits into that. There's Maude, Grimy, and Bleeding Gums Murphy that I eventually want to cover as the trio of properly dead characters. And Larry now, rest in peace.
One could suggest we've sort of covered the first one.
The wife, yeah,
the wife.
I still think there's more to come, but you never know.
No.
Yeah, so I did want to cover him, but there's not much to the actual. They just don't really reveal anything about him. It comes in you might get a line or two. Like the closest to a revelation is the deaf son thing, and it's not once you've said that out loud, he has a deaf son. There isn't much more to dig into.
We've said it out loud maybe 40 or 50 times in this episode, which suggests that maybe it is somewhat Slim Jim Pickens on B-Gums.
Yeah, sometimes with these characters it is hard to pinpoint things, or there's like a rich selection of things to pinpoint, or you can kind of go off on your own trajectory, like with Leopold, and we can make decisions based off what we think. But with
Yeah.
Bleeding Gums Murphy, it is just all laid out there who he is, what kind of person he is, and his entire life from essentially young man to death is
Cradle to grave.
covered.
I think it's just scratching the surface, and there's like a bunch of stuff that they couldn't possibly show to children and broadcast.
Well, it's ostensibly a character that should be one of the most interesting that they've created, and they've decided to give him almost no discernible traits.
Yes, I'm sure if you gave me 120 plus hours, though, I could find some.
Oh, we could easily dig into Cousins of Cousins.
Exactly.
Clip
But yeah,
8.
yes, nothing new to add. He has a death zone.
She says goodbye to him.
Yeah, that's it.
She
The rest
forces-
of this now.
He warbles for like 25 minutes.
So lonely since the day I was born. All I got is this rusty old away. My dad acts like he belongs, y'all. He belongs in the zoo.
This is this is a song that Lisa wrote for B Gums being offensive about her family, right?
Yeah, initially the content of this was mostly him singing, and then I realised that adds even less than the content we looked at. So I just banged it all together at the end. So essentially it's just 4 minutes of him as he was the Springfield jazzman, bluesman. He obviously did a lot of singing.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna make you rich. Only $1.
There you go. Well done. There's a young B Gums, right?
Birth to Death. And this is the times they've gone back to him have been sort of culturally relevant, if you will. One of them was that they started using a hologram of him for performances, as they did with real dead celebrities. And then
I wonder what that was, yeah.
This version
he's encouraging people to gamble as well, which I don't think is particularly responsible.
He is, I agree. However, in his defence on this one, this is both times it's Lisa and there's outrage, but this one is using like AI to put a celebrity in an advert.
Is that what they're doing there?
Yeah, maybe not AI, but that thing of they changed his song to be about lottery and made it so it looks like he's singing it and stuff. In a kind of similar way how they recast Bleeding Gums Murphy and brought him back.
Yeah,
jazz man.
but I mean, at least that was done for the first reasons.
Made an old jazz man happy, little Lisa. Oh, whooping.
Here we go. I would only get your take on this because it's all absolutely awful, gruesome.
When the jazz man is testifying.
Fucking hell, that is.
What I do like.
Sounds like Christian rock.
Awful.
It's a jazz song, which is not about a jazz man. So I think the point is that there's a saxophone solo in it, which I imagine there is in most jazz music. But considering this is happening in Lisa's mind, for all we can tell, she is just stood in the middle of the street at night singing a cappella the song Jazzman, because she is not at any point playing the saxophone herself.
No.
Which, again, is ironic. They should have just ended this probably with a jazz saxophone duet as opposed to her singing about somebody who plays jazz.
Could somebody have laced Springfield's water system with LSD and she's just tripping her tits off?
It's very possible that's what's happened throughout the entire run of the show, and they're all just regular flesh-coloured humans, and that's what's happening to them.
That's fair theory.
Fair theory. Doesn't explain season 12 to 34. What about you, Beef? Did you anything to say about that travesty?
Yeah, I remember watching this originally when was this originally broadcast? 93 or something, whatever.
Would it have been?
It just makes me cringe really, really hard, and I feel uncomfortable watching it with other people. Do you know what I mean? There's no, because it's earnest, and I like a layer of sarcasm and detachment on my humour.
But it's earnest in such a misjudged way as well, isn't it? It's like, there's nothing heartfelt about that Jazzman Carole King cover.
No,
and there's no attempt at humour as well. It's just a weird song choice. What's the point? Like, what were they thinking?
When the Jazzman testifies.
It is considering he's also a character again. Like, he's not someone who's been in the first 6 seasons, so to kill him off and have this doesn't really have that much of a audience impact either. So it doesn't, the earnestness it's going for isn't really available or earned. Yeah, in this situation, even at least one just one joke maybe would have saved this, and clearly a different song from the reading of room.
Is this a low point, would you say, of the entire show?
It's crazy. Look, it's season 6, which is on paper my favourite season, and this episode comes. There's like 25 episodes in that season, and this is like episode 22. So you just can't help but feel this is, the end of a season. What stories have we got left? How about we do something? Lisa always gets the sincerity as well. I would have, if they'd gone like the one with Homer and his mum, the sincerity is more, like earned, and because they've established it. But this is just an 8-year-old girl who's met this jazz guy like twice. The connection is he likes jazz, but he didn't take her under his wing and become a mentor.
Doesn't even like jazz. He's a bluesman.
He doesn't even like jazz. He just plays the same instrument she plays.
And I'd always be wary of somebody who tries to sort of befriend children. More alarm bells going off.
It is. Speaking of which, there is a... No, actually, I'm not going to say that.
Okay. Any comments on any of those clips before we move on?
Closing statements from anybody?
I think it's guilty.
Oh, good Lord. The floor gives up a fate, Ross, as Ron Hanratty, the lying beetle, scuttles up.
Hello, I've just returned from inventing boats. All of them. You're welcome.
Ron, did you invent boats?
Absolutely not. I've never even seen water. Horrible stuff. Set your legs on fire.
Well, Ron Hanratty, I'm two's vanished, but the food's done. Ron Hanratty's, who is soon to take over almost every scene, I imagine. So
time for some presents.
We all did Secret Santa.
Beef, I think you've got one here for Femzy, whatever his name is.
To Zaz. Me to Zaz.
Yeah.
Are we doing this? Has Zaz actually got a present? Has this been set up beforehand?
He's got he's got
in
one
the realms of this imaginary podcast. Yes,
that's right.
Wow.
What did you get?
Did I explain what the gift is? Is
yes,
this what we're?
Please.
Okay. Enjoy Zaz. It's a book that's been gently vandalised. Every few pages contain absurd footnotes, doodles, or fake scholarly commentary.
Survival.
Oh, thank you.
So it's very, very. Oh yeah. Oh, well, Pemberton, you got one from me. Well, thank you very much. What is it?
I'm trying to work out where we are. I'm in the black bit.
Oh yeah, you were right. Sorry, yeah, you were in the right place.
A survival kit for an extreme specific situation. Example: awkward lift. Right. Is it my commitment? No, it's just confusing.
Oh, thanks anyway. Thanks, Pemberton. Beef, you've got one for your cousin, Pemberton.
A letter from future you, written by giver, dated 10 years ahead, giving wildly inaccurate advice and ominous warnings.
Nice. And I got Beef, a framed stock photo chosen purely by vibes, no explanation.
Aye, we'll serve ourselves then.
Beef, you want some Yorkshire pudding?
I'll help myself.
These roast potatoes look like they've seen things.
I made those in my sleep inside a volcano. That part's true.
Lovely. Pass the gravy, please.
Pass.
Well then, Merry Christmas, lads.
Merry Christmas.
I invented Christmas yesterday.
Sure you did, Ron.
That's Ron.
There's Ron Hanratty.
The enemy of truth. And
all right, let's have a look at these artworks here. So first, let's do them in threes. So you've got like a cartoony one, and then like a California Raisins one, and then an actual real life lamp of bleeding gums that you can maybe buy. That looks horrific.
Yeah, I think that lamp's fantastic, and I think that is a piece of merchandise I can't believe I've not actually seen before. When you think about it, like the Bleeding Gums Murphy face in the cloud seems perfect for a figurine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't like any of it.
Don't like it. I mean, this one's a bit. I mean, it's nice, but you know, it's a bit generically graphically designed. But I do kind of like the sort of clunkiness of the middle one with his saxophone all over the place, and it's kind of like airbrushed a bit.
Yeah, I think they're all very beautifully designed, and he's a good character to draw. I enjoy his face, but they are quite easy takes on him. He's doing what you'd expect him to be doing. I
Yeah.
looked, actually, he's based on somebody. I've already forgot what he's called, though.
Is it Grover Washington Jr.?
No, it's like Scoot Johnson, something like that.
All
Let me have
right,
a
I
look.
don't know, Scoop, but that
Made that up, that's why. Sonny
um,
Rollins.
Sonny Rollins, yeah, fair enough, yeah. But I mean, Sonny Rollins is a proper jazz man, and this guy's not at all, right?
So it's not Henry Rollins.
Fair enough,
It
yeah.
could be.
This one here, Warmer Than July, it is definitely a parody of a cover, and I thought it was a Grover Washington Jr. album, but it's not. I don't know what. I can't remember quite what album it's referencing. Can you think, Al?
It's that generic, it's just like a picture of somebody's head. But I do like those three.
No, that idea with that border around and then that yellow writing. But yeah,
it's a cheap sort of like LP design. You just got a photograph, you plonk it on there and do a bit of lettering around it. It's very generic.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is Warmer Than July a reference to something?
The weather?
That's correct. What is warmer than July? Is he warmer than July?
Is he? Is a good question.
That seems
right?
more of that seems like the kind of thing you would say if you're trying to big yourself up, not if you're like a sad blues man. To me, it would be like colder than
Ego.
I think it's a Stevie Wonder album. I think it's
well, there is obviously that reference as well, isn't there? I believe the sunglasses have got to come
the
from.
Stevie Wonder album is called Hotter Than July. That's what it is.
I see. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's what
I like
reference.
this. I like the style of the middle one and the end one, the very old Simpsons. Like that middle one looks like it's come from that 90s Simpsons game, that virtual Springfield game.
Yeah.
Hazard a guess.
I think the one on the right actually looks like a genuine poster because it's the Dayglow kind of colour going through it. Like that'd just be like standard paper that you print on. Looks like an expensive poster if it was one, but you'd expect it more likely to be black and white with the coloured bits. But yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah,
I do like that the addition of having a autograph on there to Lisa from Bleeding Gums Murphy is quite a cool idea as well. I like that. I can't quite read what it says, but I do like that. That's what has been added on top of the image that has been created.
There's a Sonny Rollins album called Way Out West, which is possibly being referenced in that middle one. Have Gums Will Travel, but probably not. But especially if he's based on Sonny Rollins. I clipped a couple here of an actual action figure because, of course, they did make an action figure of him, and then
before you move on from that is one of the key attractions to me for Bleeding Gums Murphy as a character that I just like, and he's in the good side is because that is the Springfield figures that they made that I was and am a huge fan of.
Oh yeah.
However, yeah, that and Professor Frink were the first two figurines that I got ever for the Simpsons collection.
It's crazy that Gums got one so early on, right?
Well, again, everything that I relate to these Simpsons figures comes back to the fact that they never made more. But yeah, I believe he came in the 6th lot of them, so they'd probably made about 40 to 50 characters, maybe less, maybe about 35, 40 characters before they did Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Sort of makes sense, right?
Well, they did Bleeding Gums Murphy, Hibbert, and Carl in the same wave to clearly balance out what they had not been doing in the prior waves.
Right, or in any of their episodes.
Yes.
Yes. Then you've got a nice little clip here of him live to Wally Weasels, which suggests that he's playing at some kind of kind of down on his luck sort of like animatronics thing. And it's hard to describe what this is. I think it's AI generated.
Yes, it has to be.
The one-handed saxophone, yeah.
But it's not even a saxophone.
Yeah, it's more a clarinet.
It ends it's like a trumpet with the end of a saxophone.
missed the trick there, those jazzmen, didn't they? By not having that.
He does really look like someone in that, though, and I can't place who it is.
I'm not going to place who it is.
Kind of looks like Colin Farrell's Penguin.
Right.
If he was Mole Man.
If he was Mole Man, yeah. There was an actual band called Bleeding Gums Murphy, just like there's one called Maude Flanders, and just but none of their songs are really have anything at all to do with Bleeding Gums. It's not jazz. It's and they're an Australian kind of
they make rustic Italian style music, apparently, according to that.
Yeah, I listen to it. It's cheeky kind of comedy, acoustic comedy, not too far away from a They Might Be Giants or even a Flight of the Conchords sort of thing, but not the kind of thing I'm going to inflict on our ears. So suffice to say, it's quite nice and it's much, much better than Jazzman.
Indeed, which will be probably rounding out this episode now.
I hope so. I mean, I'm sure you can make several Suno versions that are way better than...
Why don't you pull the lyrics up now and we'll read them. Put them over the song, and that's how it went.
Cheers, Beef. Have you got to run off now then?
I've got my sister-in-law's birthday buffet. Yeah, beautiful. So got to go and get ready.
Well, always a pleasure.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. I've come away with not a respect for Bleeding Gums, but more of an understanding. And I might, that Jazzman's growing on me, actually. I might stick that on the drive over. Maybe.
Oh, good Lord.
Listen to the Carol King version. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah,
Merry
thank
Christmas.
you very much.
Beef, do you have a good one?
Bye.
Much love. Oh, what is this final piece of extra content? Just after we've said goodbye to Beef, you only go ahead and find us a 6-page comic, seemingly based entirely on, well, let's see what it is. So Lisa is walking along with her umbrella in a case, and she says, gasp, it's Bleeding Gums Murphy. And we see someone who does look a little like Bleeding Gums, and this person turns around. She's in the street. Very well rendered bongo, actually. Is it a later one?
Yes, it's like issue 200 plus.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a little bit digital, but I like it. Oh no, little girl, Bleeding Gums was my cousin. My cousin? What?
I did that.
All right.
It does look very natural, though.
Well, it doesn't once you notice it because the lines are missing, but I was like, what?
Yes.
I'm Flossie Murphy, the only one in my entire family with proper oral hygiene. And it's interesting because only earlier in this episode, we were saying that we'd never even heard of her, or it could actually be later in this episode where we say that.
Indeed.
And then somebody walks along and says, it's true. The only braces she'll ever need are musical ones. Flossie turns back round with her tiny saxophone and says, I was a friend of Bleeding Gums. Well, any friend of my cousin is welcome to jam with me. All right, Lisa says. And they jam together. And there's a man throwing coins into what I can only imagine is to stop Lisa from playing.
Indeed, stop her from asking any more questions. It's great. It's a great design. It's just... There's just something very endearing about Flossie Murphy. From name to design to, as we find out in this story, the fact that she isn't actually very nice.
All right. Oh, dear.
Once again, she is lovely, though, to me.
Well, Bleeding Gums is very nice to Lisa. The one thing is that people might say things about him, possibly not, taking care all the time of everyone. But it's very hard to say that he wasn't always there for Lisa Simpson. So I guess that's maybe the joke here.
You thought he always would be. I think it's more of he's a loner. He's a loner sort of guy, but he saw something in Lisa Simpson that was bluesy enough that he took her under his wing very, very vaguely. Look, it's MBM.
You don't know what they're like in here, but we'll see later. Do you want to do the next page as in our bongo style?
Indeed, but this is all from across a fuller story, by the way. These are just the interactions with Flossie Murphy. Homer runs out of Luigi's restaurant. Lisa, honey, we've got to go. Luigi has gone crazy. Whilst Flossie Murphy is saying, you're pretty good. How'd you like to sit in for me on a paying gig tomorrow? A professional session, I'd love to, says Lisa. Sold or solid, says Flossie Murphy. And then Luigi comes out with like a meat grinder in his hand. Where is he? I'm gonna grind him up good. There must be some shenanigans that we've missed. Later, Flossie Murphy is still playing and Lisa returns to her. Flossie, we need to talk. Hey there, girl, says Flossie, having not taken the time to remember this girl's name, which is fine. They're using the session music I played for radio ads. Listen to this, and then if you're foxy, come on down to the foxiest place in town. Hunter's fun and shouldn't cost a lot, so give Frank's Fox Hunting Lodge a shot. It's for a hunting lodge, reiterates Lisa, as Flossie Murphy just looks on with the look of why is this child, who is not mine, troubling me with these issues of hers.
Exactly. So then we cut forward, and worst of all, I'm Mr. Burns. Do you like electricity, and don't you mind some radioactivity? Can you see any mutants? I know I can't, so always trust the Springfield nuclear power plant. They got little musical notes around it signaling that this is also a song. Totally deadpan from Flossie. Beautiful drawings of Flossie here, but totally deadpan to Lisa's tiny little child phone. My child had a phone like this, a little smaller. It can only call like the 3 people's numbers that you put in it.
Yes, it's very reminiscent of an old style phone, which is again a bit of a brain box for us, because this looks very new, but it is still like 10 years old.
Yes, but 10 years old, they had iPhones, so it's no excuse, to be honest.
Very true.
Yes, and you were recording music for an ad agency, says Flossie. But out of all of the ads are for things I have ethical problems with. I know that's why I wouldn't do the gig. I'm a little disappointed in that you did, but I had no idea, and you got me the job. And Flossie turns away, and she picks up her saxophone and says, "You sure do have a lot of excuses now. If you'll excuse me, I've still got my artistic integrity." And Lisa walks off. I think Lisa should have been asked, and she should have said, "What is this music for?" Yeah, I'm assuming that she went to the studio and Flossie wasn't there, and I don't think that's on Flossie. That is a bit.
No, it is a bit. Like, she obviously withheld the information of what the gig was for.
Yes.
However, the 8-year-old could have done a bit more research of her own upon arriving and said, "So what is this for?" It's all it would have taken, because there's no deception. It's just a withholding of events. But she didn't. Flossie Murphy did not say, "Will you go and do this?" It is specifically not for adverts. I did, upon reading this yesterday, was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing the resolution of this," and that is it.
Oh, that is it. You can see that's the end. It's a subplot, though, isn't it? So
it is a subplot, and I believe that the general idea is, in a very, very Marilyn, Ka-ching, Morgana sort of way, is this person looks like someone who was really nice to me, but this person is in fact not that nice to me.
Yeah, but I think it's just a little old joke, and the twist being that she didn't do the gig because she has integrity, but Lisa took it and didn't ask twice. But there is the bit where she just trusts her because she's a bleeding gums.
Yes, a Murphy. A fun fact as well is that Flossie Murphy is actually the best friend of Morgana Huntington.
That is a fun fact.
I would just like to say, and we forgot there's a voice change section of Cast Connections also, and BGM does apply to that, as I think you pointed out either earlier or later in this episode, that he has been voiced by like 3 or 4 different people, and somebody live action played him in some opening credit, in those live action opening credits.
Really? I'd like to see that.
There is a live action Bleeding Gums Murphy. I would also like to see it, because I did not bother to watch it. I just read that fact, which is a fun one. It's this was a Sky One advert, I remember it, and then The Simpsons enjoyed it so much that they then used it as the credit, as the opening for an episode. All
right, they did a good job of him there. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty good.
But
more recognisable of anything than something like the Krusty and the Wiggum. There are just a policeman and a clown.
Yeah, and it's even a British Bobby, isn't it? So
yes,
we've heard from everyone about whether or not Bleeding Gums is a good or a bad man, the Jazz Police, but I don't know really how we can make this decision. Knock, knock, knock. Yes?
I can make the decision for you.
Ron Hanratty, you're back.
Actually, my name's not Ron Hanratty. I've been lying to you all along. My name is
Horace Almost.
Oh yes, that's my name. It's Horace Almost.
Ron, are you sure your name's Horace Almost?
No, I'm lying. It's really Ron Hanratty.
All right.
Yes, it's Malcolm Bentwing. I'm lying. It's actually Ron Hanratty.
I see.
Well, here's the argument for Bleeding Gums. He's a good character, he's honest, he's generous, and he's deeply influential. He introduces Lisa to jazz, listens to her seriously, and treats her as an equal by letting her play his saxophone. He passes on jazz rather than hoarding it, and his music is sincere rather than commercial, unlike Lisa Simpson, who will sell her soul for anything. His care for his deaf son shows that his art is rooted in love, not ego, and after his death, his influence continues, and Lisa fights to have his music heard. He is a character who inspires growth and preserves cultural truth as moral good, even if from time to time he fails materially. But it's not all good. What's that?
That was beautiful, Colin. I forget your name.
My name, you say? Well, actually, my name is Basil Halffack. Oh, yes.
Basil Halffack.
Oh, yes.
I have to say, is that true?
Is that true?
No, I'm joking. My name is actually Ron Hanratty. The case against Bleeding Gums Murphy is that he repeatedly shows passivity, poor judgment, irresponsibility. He admits his jazz is emotionally manipulative and continues without offering any guidance on survival, leaving Lisa with sadness but no tools. He wastes his money on Fabergé eggs despite the perceived poverty and family responsibilities, showing self-sabotage rather than principles. He does not adapt, plan, or fight to be heard. He accepts being forgotten, leaves his legacy to be rescued by a child. These traits make him less responsible and more of a cautionary figure.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Ron, so which side do we come down on then?
I'm sorry, my name's not Ron, it's Leonard Pinchbeck.
Leonard Pinchbeck. Is that true?
No, actually, my name is Ron Hanratty.
Yes, we know it is, Ron.
Anyway, in summation, Bleeding Gums Murphy is neither a saint nor a fraud, but a morally mixed figure whose goodness lies in feeling, teaching, and loving, but failures lie in action, responsibility, and self-preservation. He's good in intent and influence, but flawed in execution and life management from time to time. It presents him not as someone to imitate, but as someone to understand, and maybe to ultimately outgrow. His role is to open the door to the truth, I beg your pardon, but it is up to others, especially Lisa, a question no one asked, to learn how to live with it. It's the jazz priest's verdict, and it cannot be overturned.
It's a very good verdict, and my own personal opinions are, from a sincere point of view, I do like him very much. I think he's a cool character. I think he wasn't supposed to be he wouldn't have fit the character he was trying to be if he was a successful, happy bluesman. Like, they needed him to be this unusual figure who just sort of roamed in a very Jesus-esque way and changed Lisa's life permanently. I don't believe she's ever met any other one-time characters.
Paul McCartney.
Yes, she has met Paul McCartney, but she does not have a picture of him on her wall that you see in practically every single episode of The Simpsons.
No, Marge has one of Ringo.
Indeed. It was the fact that this Bleeding Gums Murphy picture is in Lisa's room that made me think there was going to be loads of mods in those interim seasons.
Interesting.
In terms of pictures on walls, just because he is literally in any time that Lisa Simpson's bedroom is seen on this show about these 5 particular family members, you will see him.
Oh yeah, like in Seinfeld, Superman appears in every single episode.
Exactly, just like Superman in Seinfeld,
yes.
Or the aliens in South Park.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's like a secret alien in every episode.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it is. It is cool. But generally, I don't think he was and it's also, I did not.
Could I just stop you there? I actually have to go now.
Oh, sorry.
That's not wrong. My name's Chester Shimmer.
I see. Goodbye.
You have to say, is that true?
Is that true, Chester?
No, my name's Ron Hanratty. Bye.
All right, bye, Ron.
Bye, Ron.
My name's not Ron.
Bye, Ron.
Oh, Ron. Anyway, yeah.
All right. I, Christmas efficiency saves time and stomach space.
Ron Hanratty's gone then?
Yeah, said he was off to marry the moon, then scuttled into the floorboards, normal Beatle fashion.
Good for him. Attention, household, I have given birth now. I'm going to give birth
lovely.
now.
How lovely. You just hear about the potatoes.
Yes, it is optimal. I can't pause. Everyone watches politely. My birth is complete. Presenting David 2, Ham 3, child of myself and Dave the calculator.
Congratulations, mate. Proper touching moment.
Look at them. Perfect.
Look at them. perfect little robot calculator hybrid.
I must return to work immediately. Please hold the offspring beef you are chosen.
Honoured. Bleep bleep. Oh, that's lovely, thank. That's lovely, that.
Oh, they like you, that's a good bleep.
Am2, you sure you don't want a moment to rest? You just gave birth. Illogical. The Salt Circle House requires continual service. Joyful but continual.
Fair. We respect the hustle.
Returning to duties. Goodbye.
Well then, happy family moment. This Woman's Work by Kate Bush.
Aye, I'm happy too. Right, lads, I'm so full I can see through time. Might have to cancel the pub lunch.
Never.
Could if you wanted to.
Entirely your choice.
No, Pem is right. No, it isn't. A pub lunch is more than a meal. It is a calling. The Wellington family swore a sacred Sunday duty, a quest handed down through generations of hungry men, men who knew that gravy is hope and stuffing is courage. I will not be the one who breaks that chain.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
Thank you, little one. Your silence speaks volumes.
So you're going then, Beef?
Aye, too effing right.
Right then, tip pub.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas, everyone.
Everyone.
Lift me, won't you lift me?
Above the old routine.
Make it nice, play it clean. Jazzman.
When the jazzman's testifying.
A faithless man believes.
He can sing you into paradise.
Or bring you to your knees, I beg your pardon.
Oh, it's a gospel kind of feeling.
A touch of Geordie slide.
Song of pure revival.
And a style that's sanctified.
Jazzman, take my blues away.
Make my pain the same as yours.
With every change you play.
All together, Jazzman.
Jazzman.
Oh, Jazzman.
Jazzman.
When the Jazzman's signifying.
And the band is winding low.
It's the late night side of morning.
In the darkness of his soul. Beg your pardon.
He can fill a room with sadness.
Oh God, as he fills his heart with tears.
He can cry like a fallen angel.
When rising time is near.
Ooh.
That's enough of that shit.
The end.